This scene for me was really hard to stomach. I'm like, damn, y'all gonna give us that in the first episode? About the war against the dead. And baby, I thought he was finna say winter is coming. I was finna say, oh, nine, child, y'all don't do this. But he ain't say that. So, child, look, I can't call it, but people gonna be plotting and folks is gonna get killed. And it's gonna be some sex and violence. What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be reviewing episode 1 of House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones prequel. Now, I have to say, I was excited when I heard there was going to be a Game of Thrones prequel, sequel, spin-off, anything in the Game of Thrones world. Yeah, it ain't end too well, but I mean, it was a great show. They just fumbled at the end. So I was excited for them to continue the world of Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones isn't really my cup of tea. I got into it on like the 3rd season because my friend just kept talking to me about it. I don't like following a ton of different characters and events and storylines. It's too much, child. So hopefully I can keep it straight for House of the Dragon. Now, House of the Dragon is set 172 years before the Mad King, the birth of his daughter, Daenerys, mother of dragons. Now, when it was just like talk there would be a spinoff, I wasn't so excited when they said, oh, it's going to be like 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones. I personally thought that was going way too far back. We heard so much about the Mad King and young Stark and Jon Snow's parents. I thought that's the story we were going to get for the prequel. But I'm actually happy we went this far back. This first episode, in my opinion, was really, really good. So let me try to keep these names straight, y'all. We are currently starting where we had a Targaryen king. He ruled for like 60 years. Everything was all good in the hood. There was peace, prosperity. He had 10 dragons, and you can't really go up against somebody with 10 full-grown adult dragons. However, he started to get sick. He was older. His health wasn't so good, so the concern came up of him needing an heir. Unfortunately, with all of his prosperity, he did have some unfortunate luck where his 2 sons, his only sons, passed away. So there were many claims to the throne. Only 2 were actually considered, and that was Viserys, who is the younger cousin of Princess Rhaenys. And 6, the only common thread throughout any time in history, if you are born with a penis, you are somehow just automatically top tier above anyone who isn't born with one. So, of course, Princess Rhaenys was not given a throne. It went to Viserys. So, at the start of this current story, we are in the 9th year of King Viserys' reign, because I was kind of confused when they first started off. I'm like, well, bro, he look exactly the same as when he became the king. How long has it been? But they tell us we're in the 9th year. Now, this is where I'm kind of confused at. In this 9th year, apparently it is a huge deal that he has an heir. And I'm like, he not elderly, he not sick. Why is it so pressing that he has an heir? I really didn't understand that. Now, technically, his brother, Prince Daemon, is considered the heir. The only male, he's the brother, and Viserys has no kids. Has no sons. He only has a daughter, Princess Rhaenyra. One thing I really liked that they said was how the reigning king, who had that 60 years, knew that the only thing that could tear down House Targaryen is themselves. Is it considered foreshadowing if we already done seen the event? Well, we ain't technically seen the events of the Mad King, but we know the event. So is that foreshadowing? Because that is what happened with y'all house, child. Okay, so my standout character for me is Prince Daemon. That's my favorite character right now. I love him. The actor for me does so freaking well in every scene he is in. I feel like that's gonna be my character. So far, that's my character. Now, honestly, my least favorite character right now is the princess. Princess Rhaenyra. Yeah, she's not giving it to me. I'm not really feeling, from her. She is pretty much in the mind of Brianna Tarth or Arya, where her mother is like, it's our duty to, bear kids. This is our duty. And she's like, I would much rather be a knight. So she's more like Brienne of Tarth or Arya. But I don't know. She feels really blasé to me. Is it just me? When I watched Game of Thrones and I had certain characters that I was just like, wow, that's my character. I love that character. Whether they was evil or good, child. Just like Prince Damien, he just is a standout for me. The acting is so top notch. The character is amazing. And the actor really brings the character to life in just such a dynamic way. He's just entertaining to watch anytime he's on screen. I don't get that with the princess. I'm not feeling the princess. Now, right off the bat, for me, I feel like we're off to a great start. It is such a great atmosphere. It's kind of like we're in the world of Game of Thrones, but they have found a way to really differentiate themselves with this show. Of course, the top song that comes to mind when it comes to Game of Thrones is that song, Sex and Violence, Who's Gonna Make You Cry? Yo. Sex and violence. We get nudity, sex, violence, some gruesome violence and gore in this first episode. Now, the queen is currently pregnant. King Viserys is just, without a shadow of a doubt, it's a boy. This is my heir. So they have like a baby shower. I guess could be considered for this day and time. Which is pretty much a jousting tournament. And child, let me tell you, shouldn't nobody be talking about the state of society because we be watching these crazy reality shows? Baby, this used to be entertainment. This was their reality show. These fools was tearing each other. Now, I thought jousting, first of all, that ish looked violent like a mofo. But besides the jousting, baby, they just started killing each other. I didn't know that was part of the game. Now, the princess, everybody in the village, people that came from far and wide to come see this jousting tournament. Now, I ain't, the greatest when it comes to remembering all the little details of Game of Thrones. First of all, it's been so long since I saw it. And it was already hard for me to keep up while I was actively watching. Do y'all have any idea how many times I would call my homegirl like, who this is? When we last saw them? What was their name again? Child, I'm terrible. So, I cannot tell you who everyone's flag was, but we had flags that represented each of our different houses that were involved in the jousting tournament. Baby, I can't tell you who the houses was, but go check out them flags. And if you are a sharper tool in the shed than me, maybe you will know it. Now, I did like certain moments where we got House Stark in different houses that we are familiar with. It's just amazing that these houses stood for so long. I don't know. I find that like really cool. Like, how long would my house have stood? If we did the whole last name is your house and all that stuff still today. Now, I didn't like this. The King Viserys is out watching their reality TV, they jousting tournament. Baby, while the queen is in there laboring. Nah, baby, you can't be out there having fun and watching TV while I'm laboring. You need to come be right here. But I guess this is a different time, child, and the man was not by your side when you had a baby. So she is screaming bloody murder. They get the king in there, and unfortunately, the baby is breached. They have tried all attempts to turn the baby. Now, are they called doctors in this time, baby? I'm gonna just call them a doctor. I do not know the character name. However, he's the medical person for the castle. He ends up telling King Viserys, you gotta make a decision. Baby, your wife or your heir? And I didn't like this. look, I'm not unconscious. I'm not in a coma. You could talk to me about what the situation is and what the decision we gonna come to together. No, y'all. He gives them the go ahead to do a cesarean on her. And this is the most savage cesarean section you could ever think of. Like, baby, if I was pregnant right now, I would have nightmares walking away from this. This scene for me was really hard to stomach. I'm like, damn, y'all gonna give us that in the first episode? So he pretty much goes by his wife's side. She's kind of a bit loopy. I mean, the pain probably make you a bit loopy, but they also give her some kind of milk of poppy. Child, baby, I don't know if that's the cocaine plant. I don't know what it is. But it's their pain medication for this day and age. Likely a drug gets you a little high, child. But it ain't strong enough for this barbaric cesarean section. So he talking to the wife. He's like, oh, they finna get the baby out, child. Don't you worry. They finna get that baby out. All of a sudden, they just slide the lady down and hold her down. And she just like, and then she see the little knife they pull out. Y'all, this was like a rusted up box cutter. All the swords and all the land that's be just sharp as Valyrian steel, and y'all come up in here with a rusted up box cutter to do the cesarean. Y'all, this was so barbaric. Y'all, they ain't give the lady nothing. I mean, I guess you ain't have medicine to knock folk out. Baby, y'all could have punched me in my face. Y'all could have did something to knock me out. Baby, let me die, okay? Because I'm sure that most women who are pregnant and about to give birth gonna say, save my baby. But child, if I'm gonna die, do I have to die painfully? Y'all, this scene was brutal. They literally take this little rusted up box cutter and they just cut into the lady's stomach. And she's screaming bloody murder. And all I kept thinking is, I bet it's a girl. Like, you sacrificing your wife and going through all this, and I bet you it ain't even a boy. But y'all, guess what? It was a boy. He had his boy. And I was like, oh. So, but you know what then I started thinking, in between the scene, they showing us this violent ass jousting tournament. And there was even a comment about why are we celebrating someone's birth with something so violent? So I'm sitting here like, baby, your mama done being murdered, and y'all got this violent, little tournament. I'm sitting here like, man, this baby must gonna be crazy or psychotic. This ain't gonna be the air you was dreaming of. But nah, y'all, all my guests were wrong. Baby died. Baby died. Mama died. Child. This was, yeah. They got right to it. In episode 1, we got sex, death, tragedy, violence, gore, gruesomeness. Like, y'all, look, they came out swinging. They came out showing y'all what this show is going to be made of. And I feel like it's off to a great start. Now, Prince Damien and Princess Rhaenyra, I hope I'm saying these names right, child. I don't know if I'm just got my little antennas up because we in the world of Game of Thrones, but is this some kind of love connection they trying to, insinuate? It seemed kind of flirtatious for for uncle and niece relationship. Now, I'm not really sure exactly how old the princess is, but baby, I feel like she can't be no more than what, 13, 14? Somewhere in that range. So I don't know if we're going to do a time jump, because this is what I'm thinking. The son dead, the new heir, the queen dead, so I don't see how baby gonna have another heir. And plus, we ain't even got time to even be making another heir, because we need him to tell us an heir right now. So I was thinking Prince Damien wants to be the heir so bad. He want to be on the throne. Y'all, Viserys end up naming his daughter the princess the heir, and I'm thinking, are they gonna end up marrying so that Damien can be the king? Because that's what he got his eye on. Y'all, he sit up in the throne, and that's like a big no-no. You know what I mean? You can't sit in the throne, baby, if that ain't your spot. It's like, I called it, that's my seat, my name on it. That's only for the king. So he really got his eyes on the throne, and I'm really just thinking, is the Prince Damien and his niece gonna marry, and y'all know how the Targaryens do. They do the incestual stuff, because we gotta keep the dragon blood pure. We can't let nobody come in and dilute it. So that's what I'm foreseeing. Now, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Now, I feel like this episode felt like way, way longer than an hour, but in a good way. I was so engulfed in the story and everything that was going on. I was like, baby, that felt like more than an hour. It was just so good. The pacing of the episode was really good. Now, my favorite character, Prince Damien, he is currently the head of the City Watch. Which basically he got this little army. See, they run up in there like the police. But they running up in here like it's the Wild West. Y'all, they came up in the city, and I was confused by this scene. Maybe I was being naive, because I was like, well, baby, did these people really commit a crime? Y'all, they run up in the city to try to, we getting crime down in the city. So they just sitting here like, you're a rapist, you're a murderer, you're a thief, baby. And they just start slaughtering folk. They chopped off old boy, little private area. They was chopping off hands. They chopped somebody's head off. And I was sitting there, was I being naive, y'all? Because I was like, well, baby, is he a rapist? How y'all know? Like, when did we have the trial? How y'all just pointing niggas out saying, this is what you is? So, I don't know if we were just killing folk and that was our excuse, or I don't know, y'all, were they really criminals? Did they really commit these crimes? So, they run up in the city, they getting crime down for the next election, child. And they have a council that the king meets with, right? And the council is completely against Damien. And they have a really, y'all, just such a dynamic scene of Prince Damien and King Viserys in the, what is that room called, y'all, with the throne? Is it called the throne room? I'm gonna call it the throne room, y'all. That sounds familiar. I feel like that's what it's called. And he hears that after the birth of his son, Hightower, y'all, I don't like Hightower. He a snake, baby. He a snake. I don't trust him. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I can't throw that nigga very far. Hightower, who is the hand of the king, tells Viserys that I got word, I got multiple witnesses who say that after the funeral of your son and your wife, your brother went and threw a party at the local strip club, the brothel, y'all, because it's always the town brothel, child. He threw a party, cheering, talking about your son was just an heir for the day and celebration. Look, King, it was pretty much a celebration of your woman and your child being dead. So they have this face off, and it was so good. I agree with Damien when he say his brother weak, because he is. But I was impressed with Viserys in the scene. He kind of bucked up, you know what I mean? Now, Damien is upset because he's like, you send me off. I should be the hand of the king. I should be by your side. And he tried to, say the whole king for a day, look, baby, we all grieve in our own ways. We grieve in strange ways. And you know what? That's true. Some folk do grieve in strange ways. Now, the king pretty much tells Damien, because we had a scene earlier with the council, baby, Damien don't care about his wife. He don't want nothing to do with that lady. He said, baby, we better off just screwing the sheep. So this is his punishment, y'all. Damien is banished to go have to be with his wife, child. And let me tell you how this fool get down. He take his mistress on home with him to his wife, because he don't want to, fool with the wife. So baby gotta bring the mistress with him. Child. So first of all, your husband ain't been home, and then he come home with the mistress, child. Okay. I guess they're gonna be sister wives, child. So in the midst of all of this, I feel like, y'all, first of all, like I said, I agree with Damien Viserys this week, and I agree with Damien that Hightower is a snake, and that council peeps the weakness in Viserys and uses it. Now, we have somebody on the council. What is his name? Now, the name I remember that I looked up about this character is, he's a black guy. He got an awful dreadlock wig. But I'm really interested in his character. He is married to Princess Rhaenys, who was in line as heir, but didn't get it. So they say he's called the Sea Snake. What did they say he was called? The Sea Snake. Valerian. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's in my notes. Valerian. I'm kind of interested in this character. I mean, why they call you the sea snake, baby? That sounds kind of cool. So, and I'm interested in their characters because I feel like, is Ray niece gonna be plotting on her niece? I think that's her niece. Wait, no, they're cut. Okay, Ray niece and y'all, look, help me out with this fellow tree not child. Ray niece and King Viserys are cousins. So now Princess, who is the current heir, second cousins. Okay, that's not her niece. Niece mean they will be siblings. That's her second cousin. I feel like she's gonna be plotting on her second cousin for that throne. But I don't know how she would even manage to do that because the Ram didn't want you, baby. And the Ram don't want the princess. It's just, that's the common thread throughout time, baby. They want somebody with a penis to be on that throne. They want somebody with a penis on power, in power. So the Ram ain't really on board with a woman at all. So I don't really know, but how she gonna be plotting that? But I feel like she gonna be plotting against her poor little second cousin, y'all. But the sea snake, and when we got with the council, was also talking about some kind of threat somewhere around the free cities. Somebody in the ocean. Y'all, I can't keep, the names. But we got a threat on the water. And I'm assuming we gonna meet these people and meet this threat. They got something going on out there, not child. They done dropped, a little bucket for us. But we ain't see them yet. We pretty much only met the Targaryen family and everyone associated with them in this first episode. But y'all know how Game of Thrones do. We gonna be following 5,100 characters and 5,100 storylines, and I'm just gonna hope I could keep it all straight, child, because I was terrible when it came to Game of Thrones, especially because when you follow that many characters, sometimes we don't see them for a while, and my mind is already scrambled eggs. I be like, hold on now, who is that? Why she mad at him? I'm really peeping, and I feel like, first of all, like I said, Viserys is weak. Damon was right on the money with that. And I feel like he might die, baby. He might maybe be our first, main death. First of all, he weak. Second of all, it seems like somebody's trying to do something to him, y'all. He keep getting all these cuts from the throne. And, first of all, let me sidebar before I even get to Viserys and where I'm going with that. The throne. This throne, y'all, is amazing. It's massive. This is the throne that child Daenerys used to dream of when she was talking about to a child who can't count to 10, what does 1,000 swords look like? This throne is a motherfucking throne of swords. This throne is insane. But baby, y'all wasn't thinking about how was anybody supposed to actually sit in this mofo? The king be getting his ass just diced up anytime he in his seat. So he has something on his back that I wish they wouldn't even show us, y'all. It was disgust. It looks so nasty. But I'm trying to figure out, is somebody doing something to him? Maybe, because y'all know what kind of era we in. Are they lacing stuff with poison? Or do we have somebody like the Red Witch who doing some kind of spell? I don't know. I'm spiraling. But I feel like he's gonna die. But I kind of feel like the only reason to kill a king is so you can get his spot. But nobody can get his spot but the heir. And I know she ain't finna kill her daddy. But somebody is plotting against the king. I just don't know who. And you know what? I really don't think Damon would. When they had the council meeting and Viserys was like, y'all really think my own brother gonna kill me for the throne? I really don't think he would. Yeah, he want that throne. I really don't think he'll kill his brother. But it's Game of Thrones land, baby. They killed a pregnant woman. Baby, look, ain't no telling. But for what I have seen of the character in one episode, I don't think Damon would kill his brother. But somebody after the... How did I just say brother? I feel like I said that weird. I do not think from this one episode that Damon will kill his own brother. But who knows? We in Game of Thrones territory, y'all. Now, one part that I guess I won't say I just didn't like it, but I'm wondering how necessary it was. Now, when King Viserys names his daughter as heir, he tells her there is something that each current king tells the heir. It's a secret. It's more of a burden than the throne. And it is pretty much about the war against the dead. And baby, I thought he was finna say winter is coming off his whole 9, child, y'all don't do this. But he didn't say that. But it was pretty much telling her about this war against the dead. Now, I'm not sure how necessary this was. I'm not sure if we should have even called to this whole. He didn't mention the Night King, but it was just, the Great Winter, the war with the dead. I'm not sure if we need, I feel like, yes, this is Game of Thrones world. It is a timeline that is going to what we saw. But did we really need to mention that? Especially considering the fact that once it went down, nobody believed them about this army of the dead. Obviously, whatever this secret is passed from king to heir died with the Mad King, because baby, nobody knew about it. I'm just not certain how integral this is in the story, and maybe they're gonna go somewhere with it, but I don't know, y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Like I said, I won't say I didn't like it. I'm just not sure if it's why did we need this? Why did we need to call to the army of the dead? I don't know. Now, I heard some references in here, but I can't tell you really. We heard references to Dorne, and we know that from Game of Thrones. We heard, the Stark family and all that stuff like that. But baby, I can't really tell y'all what that stuff mean now, child. Now, during the jousting tournament, there was a guy from Dorne who was kind of eyeing the princess, baby. She was eyeing him. I don't know, y'all. I do want to know, how did the baby die exactly? The baby just died, but they didn't really tell us how the baby died. He wasn't a stillbirth, because we heard the baby cry when he was born. And Viserys, I didn't like when they had the funeral for his wife and son. He pretty much just standing there just weak. And the daughter the one got to do the Dracarys. The little word they say so that the dragon can burn. Baby, she had to light her own mama on fire. And I'm saying like, Daddy, bruh, what are you doing? Then she makes reference to the fact that after her mama died, he didn't even talk to her. Like, baby, you ain't gonna check on your daughter, see if she okay? And I want to know, do the daughter know that they motherfucking ripped into her mama's stomach? I don't know, child. I don't know if we know all that stuff. But I really want to know why this heir was so pressing. His wife and son had literally just died, and the council want to get together talking about, we need an heir, we need to name an heir. Why is this so pressing if the king is relatively young? Like, he ain't old. He ain't finna die. What was that king when Game of Thrones started off that Cersei was married to? He ain't even that old. Like, the guy that was Ned Stark's friend named him Hand of the King, which was the downfall for everybody, child. Starks at least. But he not even as old as that king. I can't think of his name. But I really am like, y'all, am I not getting something? Why is it so pressing for him to have an heir if he's still reigning as king and nothing is wrong with him? I don't understand. Oh, no. Y'all. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. So, Hightower, the Hand of the King, plotting on the king. What's his game, y'all? This man pimps out his daughter, child, because, in these days, your daughter just, commodity, he sends his daughter to go to the king's chambers and tell her, yeah, your dad, mama, put on one of her dresses, because you too covered up, girl. You need to go in there and show a little something. So, what's the game plan? Why is you sending your daughter to the king? And she best friends with the princess, baby. They look about the same age. Like, I don't know, y'all. I can't call it. Maybe I'm not good at looking at folk and trying to figure out their age. But babies don't look like they know more than about 15 years old. But, whatever. Her name is Alicent. I peeped how they said. I was like, wait, Alicent? But they said her name. They said Alicent. So, Alicent, I'm trying to figure out, is she gonna get on board with plotting against the king with her dad? What is their game? Are they trying to get Alicent pregnant so she can have a boy? Because I'm going to presume that even if the king named the princess as heir, if he has a boy, that's going to be the rightful claim to the throne. So is that the game that Hightower is on? That he wants his grandson to be king? I'm not sure. But that's what I'm deducing. Because why the hell else are you sending your daughter into the man's chambers? Y'all, is the princess gonna even make it to the throne? I'm trying to think back to when Cersei... Oh, and I'm sorry, y'all. This is going to be Game of Thrones spoilers kind of linked up in here. But I'm thinking back to when Cersei, all her kids died. Her final son was king, died. And she got the throne. Was anything mentioned about her being the first woman on the throne? I'm trying to really remember if anything like that was mentioned, because I'm trying to think if the princess gonna even make it to the throne. She been named the heir, but if she gonna make it to the throne, child, is what I'm trying to figure out. Now, I feel like, man, I hope this show really goes for a long time. It is really good. I feel like we are missing a show like this. And maybe we're not, baby, because like I said, I'm not into stuff like this. I'm not into dragons and castles and knights and that whole realm of things. So maybe it's a show out there like that, but I just don't know about it. However, I'm really into this show, House of the Dragon, which I was calling House of Dragons. Why did I think it was called House of Dragons? But then the show popped up and I was like, House of the Dragon? Okay. And one thing I was trying to figure out, during the height of Targaryen house, we had 10 dragons. I'm trying to figure out how many dragons they got now. I saw the princess ride a dragon. Then they was talking about another dragon who was about to be old enough or big enough for them to be able to ride. So I heard mention of 2 dragons. I'm trying to figure out how many dragons we got. Now, I really can't give no predictions on nothing, because when it comes to stuff like this, baby, look, I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't even know what Game of Thrones gonna do, or the Game of Thrones world, because they just be doing all kind of ish. But I do feel like Viserys is gonna die. How soon is the only question. I do feel like Prince Daemon and his niece is going to marry or have a love connection because he want to be king and she been named the heir. I do think Rhaenys and the Sea Snake is going to be plotting against the princess so that Rhaenys can take the throne, even though I don't see, because it's all about having a rightful claim to the throne. Even if you take out the princess who is the heir, I would assume the heir would go back to Daemon, so you would have to take him out as well. So, child, look, I can't call it, but people gonna be plotting and folks is gonna get killed. And there's gonna be some sex and violence. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. Let me know down below your thoughts on the first episode, our introduction to the world of House of the Dragons. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.